Beemis is one of the best games I've ever played, right up there with cream soda. I enjoyed every second of the game, but I was disappointed to find that the existing coverage of it seems to regard it as a cute little meme game. A joke to be enjoyed then passed over, or at best, a way to pass time.
I just wanted him to experience it and for you to
Nice.
experience it because it's pretty silly.
Nice.
I haven't seen anyone talk about the design considerations that make Beemis Beemis.
So this is the only level I've played. So I didn't beat this level, just so you know.
You play a bee named Beemis, and as Beemis, you go through a series of levels, each with a boss at the end, until you finally destroy God. Now, those last four words are important. You finally destroy God. Because it's exactly the kind of thing that leads to the design of this game being minimized rather than appreciated for what it is. As if the game is just a vehicle for the humor and presentation.
Look at the fucking visuals. Some good shit. So far, so good.
Oh.
Yeah, get that delicious burg.
But it's the opposite. The humor and presentation is the vehicle for the game. In this short, tightly designed experience, there's a trove of well-written jokes, clever level design, and pacing that feels thoughtful and intentional. Oftentimes, what games miss is the intentionality in the design of the player experience, and in Beemis, it's so obviously thoroughly thought through. The map is overwhelming at first glance, but the path is clear. You might even be able to go out of order, but as you take Beemis from one place to the next, the destination is obvious, even with the color palette of the map being somewhat indistinct. Even that, though, that choice is intentional. An art style doesn't need to be polished for a game's art to be commended. The question should always be, does the art style fit what the game is trying to communicate? Absolutely. Beemis is not something that would be better with realistic graphics. It would be worse. When playing games of this scope, the ambition feels strong, but then a lack of vision undermines the project. That's not the case here. As minimal as it is, it still has those small character moments that we associate with traditional 2D animation. Like my favorite, when Beemis flops down onto the ground as a little pseudo-crouch, but also just a charming character quirk. Every part of Beemis led me to believe that the developer did exactly what they intended to do, wrapped it up, and called it a day. I would recommend anyone play Beemis, and even if you have played it, go back and play it again. I was recommended Beemis by a viewer who commented on another video saying that they would love if I reviewed Beemis, so I downloaded it and played it, and I loved it, which is probably pretty obvious by now, which is why you should also play it. What I loved most about Beemis, though, is how much it reminded me of why I love itch.io games. Games uploaded to itch.io are thrusted into the category of not being art because of the platform they are on and the type of game they often are with their lack of polish and reduced scope. But in that, they have the ability to do something other indie games don't. The freedom to experiment, the freedom to exist without expectations, and the freedom to be received on its own terms and not be compared to indie behemoths. Beemis isn't on Steam for a reason. It's not market ready, nor does it want to be. Much to the chagrin of most people who play video games, I like itch.io games more than AAA or even indie games most of the time. There's not a mistake in that sentence. Itch.io games are different from indie games, a distinction I do not have the time to dive into in this review, but they are more interesting, more creative, and oftentimes more fun. Of course, Beemis, The Curse of God, was a game on itch.io I'd never heard of. That's why it's so good, because it's allowed to be.